Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and my son pitched in his high school. They're doing the playoffs right now, and he won the game yesterday. It was a tight game. I was watching it because they were doing it somewhere else. I was watching it on YouTube. I watched the whole game. I walked in the kitchen for just a second, and a guy on our team hits a 3-run home run and totally changed the game, and that's the part I missed. But I was able to go back on YouTube and watch it, so it's pretty cool. Let's start this off with, this is from Linqto, who is one of my sponsors, and the link's in the top of the description. They did a good little 30-second video on Linqto.
Want to take advantage of the potential in the private equity market? Why not invest in a company that's leading the charge in making private equity accessible to everyone? Linqto is at the forefront of the digital transformation of alternative investments. With our cutting-edge technology and experienced team, we're revolutionizing private equity investing and making it more accessible than ever before. And the best part, when you invest in Linqto, you're not only investing in our success, but our growth as well. Ready to join the future of private equity investing? Invest in Linqto today and become part of a dynamic and evolving market.
There you go. Okay, check this out. Greg Crypto's up to it again. He was talking about historical data. It says historical data showing 50-50 chance of both directions for XRP. Dump 68% and 77%, pump 2,500% and 1,650%. And here's the chart just so you see what he's talking about. So he's showing you back the historical data here. Then he goes, let's see, he says the dump targets would be 20 cents, 13 cents. The pump targets would be $7.50, $5.20, and 20 cents. Stay steady, because it won't be a smooth ride. I agree with that. Never has been. I actually direct messaged with him yesterday, and I was like, I was talking about, I like how you make up these terms sometimes and make the charting thing kind of funny, but at the same time serious. Like, this is what he does. I mean, he's serious, but he understands the sense of how important a sense of humor is too. Okay, check this out. Since our government is now just bailing out banks left and right, here's this. And Janet Yellen has sent a letter to Congress to tell them how important it is that they increase this debt limit. We're over 33 trillion in debt now. We just need to keep increasing it so they can keep spending money and keep passing bills with money that we don't have, right?
And a little bit of movement on debt ceiling negotiations after Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned of a shorter timeline before a potential U.S. default. Kayla Tausche joins us right now with the latest. Kayla, good morning.
Good morning, Becky. Secretary Yellen said yesterday the government could default on its debt as early as June 1st. That's 4 days earlier than her previous estimate, and it's based on data from tax season. In the update, which came in a formal letter to congressional leadership, Secretary Yellen writes, "It is imperative that Congress act as soon as possible to increase or suspend the debt limit in a way that provides longer-term certainty." President Biden has now invited the Big Four leaders to the White House for a visit 1 week from today on May 9th.
What a joke. I've got a warning. How about this warning? How about the warning that all the BRICS countries and seems like almost every country in the world is ganging up on the U.S. now and getting together. Oh, ganging up's the wrong term. They're actually trying to do something reasonable, in my opinion. They've watched our country squander their status as the U.S. dollar reserve currency for all these years and do stupid things like this, keep increasing the debt ceiling, just keep spending money that we don't have, never address it, never talk about how unreasonable it is, CNBC never have Janet Yellen on and say, what's your end game here, woman? What in the world are you thinking? How do you think this ends? Just keep increasing it and we never do anything to stop spending money we don't have. There's a warning for you. That's my warning. These people are out of their ever-loving minds. James Rule brings to us, so every once in a while, we always have to check in on the rich list. I always forget whether this site even still exists, but apparently it does. XRP stats, wallets. Here it is, sum of balance of ranges, number of accounts. You can go here and you can even do a search. You can put in your wallet right there and do a submit, and it'll tell you where you rank. Let's go back to the current statistics. So now, and you have to, I always say, you have to keep in mind, most people have multiple XRP wallets, or some people at least do. But so you have to understand that. But according to this, to be in the top 0.01%, you have to have at least 7 million XRP. To be in the, let me see, it's easier to see up here. So if you, let's say you have 500,000 to a million XRP, there's 2,416 wallets that have that. There's 1,411 that have between 1 million and 5 million and on up. There's only 4 that have 1 billion to infinity. Infinity XRP. I don't, that's, anyway, 1 billion or more. Cool stuff. Tranglo, who is a Ripple partner, I think Ripple actually owns some of them. Week 18 FinTech news updates, Ripple ODL in India. The payment solution offers optimized liquidity, cross-border payments, including complex corridors like Brazil, Mexico, India, Southeast Asia, using XRP as a neutral bridge for various fiat currency pairs. I'm not going to go further into it, but I wanted to show you, because I wanted to show you this. This was a tweet from Ashley Prosper yesterday. I think Ashley Prosper has been very over the target recently. She did the Freedom of Information Act to find out what the communications were between the SEC and JP Morgan regarding Ripple and XRP, and is getting stalled on it. Now she's got another one. Since the SEC did not tell Coinbase to delist XRP, I wonder who did. I would love to see the communications between, this is Coinbase's general counsel, Brian Armstrong, and JP Morgan executives leading up to December 2020, and immediately after the Ripple lawsuit was dropped. Coinbase does bank with JP Morgan after all. I wonder if ultimatums were presented to Coinbase in regards to its ability to continue banking with them. Plus, we know Coinbase's people are ETH people, and JP Morgan was and is in bed with Consensus, and Ethereum did receive clarity from the SEC via a piece of paper in Lubin's pocket, as well as the ETH Free Pass speech that Bill Hinman received $15 million to give in June 2018. When you lie with dogs, you're bound to catch fleas, and these people are heavily invested. Let's show a little more then. I added to this. Here's the, this is May 22, 2020. JP Morgan CEO held secret meetings with Coinbase. There he is. Okay, then you go down here. Same month. This was on, that was May 22nd. Same month. Remember, Andreessen, this is the 2 days before that article. Andreessen Horowitz, who does their crypto startup school, had Brian Armstrong on their crypto startup school, where he literally did a little course for them. So we know they're buddy, okay? And then remember this is Mark Andreessen had come up with this phrase, this saying, software is eating the world, back in, I guess it was here in, I thought there was a date on this. I think it was 2011. I think this was around 2011. Software is eating the world. He came up with that terminology. Well, this is from JP Morgan regarding the digital currency space. They did a whole write-up. JP Morgan, payments are eating the world, literally took his phrase, and then this is the foreword by nobody other than Jamie Dimon, and it goes through here. If you go through here, this is all about payments. And it covers crypto. Let me see if we can get to the crypto wallets. Goes down. Here's cryptocurrencies, rise of cryptocurrencies, number of blockchain wallet users. So these guys are all over it, folks. And JP Morgan, Andreessen Horowitz, all these guys, the vibe, the Coinbase, the vibe is that they're thick as thieves, man. I'm just telling you, you can feel it. And nobody ever thought that this would all be pieced together. I think it's time for me to put out my timeline again that shows you all of the how ETHgate began. Remember, I'll never forget it. When we were piecing it together and I was going and finding video, I just couldn't believe what I was finding out and how this stuff was piecing together. But if you remember, Jay Clayton's at Stanford. He's sitting in front of everybody with Joseph Grunfest. You've got Katie Hawn, who ends up at Andreessen Horowitz sitting in the front row, almost like they put a pretty face in the front row to get his attention. She's the one that sits there and asks Jay Clayton a question. I've always wondered if that's how they got Jay Clayton to come to Andreessen Horowitz the next day. He goes to Andreessen Horowitz the next day, meets with Chris Dixon, puts Chris Dixon in charge of what became the Venture Capital Working Group. Chris Dixon gets their attorney from Perkins Coie, Lowell Ness, to put together all the law firms. That's what became the Ethereum Free Pass speech that Bill Hinman gave. And Andreessen Horowitz was all in it, and so was Union Square Ventures, and JP Morgan was all involved in Ethereum. This thing smells to high heaven. Let's move along. Eleanor Terrett, new Representative Warren Davidson. Warren Davidson is kicking a word, as my 10-year-old says, and taking names here recently. He sent a letter to the president and the White House, the White House Council of Economic Advisors, calling them out for what they call inconsistencies and flip-flopping on their handling of digital assets. Then we got John Deaton weighing in on, he says, quite a few people ask, why would Ripple settle if they won? First, I didn't say Ripple would agree to the same terms as settlement that would have agreed on 2 years ago. It all depends on the ruling itself. Does Coinbase and Kraken immediately relist or wait for an appeal? Does Bank of America, Ripple partner, feel comfortable with a decision or wait to see if Judge Torres gets overturned, the SEC appeals or ruling? Remember, the SEC can file notice of appeal and withdraw it later. If the SEC told Ripple it would issue a statement that all future sales of XRP are not securities, not saying it would, and not appeal if Ripple agrees to pay $50 million, I believe the certainty and immediate return of liquidity to the U.S. makes Garlinghouse writing a check in seconds. If Judge Torres' decision is in Ripple's favor and facilitates liquidity to return the U.S., and it causes the U.S. businesses not to worry about pissing off the SEC if they use XRP, then that's a different story. Then Ashley Prosper has dates. She says today, this was from back on March 23rd, but the dates that she said were her watch dates for the Ripple case to end, there's only these left, 5/29, 6/5, and 6/21. Tick tock, tick tock. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that those are her dates, but this thing could happen any minute, any day, any